People everywhere want and need to be loved and accepted. But when life does not match these requirements, some people go deeply into despair, anxiety, depression, and hopelessness. Some people can feel that they don't matter, that their lives don't matter. But you do matter. In the big picture, everything and everyone has a place at the table of life. The miracle of your birth is precious, and your life path has purpose and meaning. I know that so many people were raised in a less than privileged world and have led really shitty lives that are painful for a multitude of reasons. Poverty, of course, has its own issues, but desperate lives are not defined by wealth either. Over the years, without intervention, emotional health can suffer, and despite psychological research in understanding that emotional difficulties are not personal shortcomings or a sign of weakness, many continue to believe that these shortcomings are solely the result of poor decisions. I don't think it is wise to conflate emotions and thinking, because decisions we often make spring forth from how we feel, and if we feel terrible with self-loathing and we're afraid most of our lives, that behavior can be self-destructive. It doesn't have to be, but it often leads to dark places. As an astrologer and clinician, I have done chart consultations with people who have later committed suicide. I could see their challenges and their pain in their chart, but I could not see a universal astrological factor that could point to someone taking their own life. Until the last couple of years, that is. When I started to re-examine these astrology charts again, and those of well-known people whose charts are available online who also took their own lives, the asteroid Chiron came up time and time again in significant places in their chart wheel. For non-astrologers, Chiron is an asteroid and a minor planet that was discovered in 1977. In the astrological world, Chiron represents our core wounds and how we can manage them. Chiron is named after the mythological centaur, a Greek healer, philosopher, and teacher who ironically could not heal himself, and is symbolized by a key demonstrating the importance of unlocking our major life lessons by understanding their causal roots beginning in childhood. In my research, Chiron goes much deeper than just superficial life lessons. Chiron's wound is deep. Chiron has overtones of Pluto. Chiron says that you are not good enough, or worse, you are not enough, which is buried deep in your psyche, that you do not matter in a specific area of life in your astrology chart. That is what, for example, if it touches the first sector of your personal identity, Chiron says your life doesn't matter. Does it mean anything? Why are you here? And then it goes on to imply you don't have a right to exist. Look at how ugly you are in so many ways. Another example in the seventh sector of relationships, Chiron metaphorically impels you to stifle yourself when interacting with someone in order to hang on to the partnership. People with Chiron there feel that they can't express who they truly are and hide themselves in pleasing behavior until they are so unhappy for years they feel absolutely unlovable. Chiron at its worst says you just can't cut it in the department of life it is placed in your chart. At its best, when properly managed though, Chiron says that you can have more than just an understanding of this existential pain. You also have the experience. Now, go help others. Go help others deal with this. Once people buy into their Chiron wound though, they are helpless to stop the hurting. It leads to despair and hopelessness, especially as this mindset is mirrored by real life circumstances that prove this belief or unworthiness. But know that Chiron cannot touch your spirit within, the part of you that defines the non-material parts of your humanity. Sure, you may not be successful totally in the sphere of life where you feel most let down by people and circumstances, but you still matter. Some people still think that engaging in suicidal behavior is a personal choice. This is often followed by the unfair assumption that suicide is a selfish choice. It appears to be, but it really isn't. We often underestimate how many factors contribute to an outcome as complex and final as suicide. Those who experience the kind of emotional pain associated with suicide do not typically want to die. They wish for an end to unbearable emotional pain, and often the resources that allow them to hold on aren't available. If you are an astrologer, please look at difficult Chiron transits or the challenging transits of the outer planets to Chiron in your natal charts, in your clients' charts when they express anguish. Okay, so you may not see it on the surface, so dig deeper. Get schooled on the signs and behaviors that might suggest that someone is at risk for suicide and get them help. Okay, this may take finesse and caring on your part, but if you are having thoughts of suicide, call a helpline or a professional, please, right now. And when you look in the mirror, say it out loud and say it strong to Chiron. My life fucking matters. I matter.